Hey there, and welcome back to Cosmic Crypto. In this video, we're going to be looking at Ravencoin, RVN. Are we just about to get a massive breakout? Let's find out. Okay, so I was out sick for a little bit. Sorry for the delayed updates here. But let's get started on the one-day time frame. And supposedly I'm supposed to tell everybody to like this video and share it up front instead of at the end of the video, so yeah, give it a like. Thanks. Daily time frame. So let's just go back to see what we've been looking at for a while now. We're in this massive triangle pattern. We're on the daily time frame. Massive triangle pattern that we're kind of forming. It's an ugly triangle, but it is still a triangle. Even if it's not a triangle, we have a massive support line that's been going on all the way since March 16th of 2020, roughly March 12th. Which is the COVID crash. So anyway, we're trying to break above this resistance. So it's been support, and we hit it as resistance. This is the 5 cent level. And then inside of this massive triangle, we have done a bump and run pattern where we've hit once, twice, fell down, went sideways, broke above, hit the 200, which isn't part of the bump and run, but that's what happened. Fell back down, and now we've retested the bump and run as support twice, once and twice, and we've had a massive move to the upside. And this green line here, horizontal, is the Ethereum merge. So is this a fake out? We're gonna find out. I was a little concerned. Let me move to the weekly here. I was getting a little concerned because our stochastic, well, it's not too bad, actually. The Ethereum Classic one is pretty bad. The stochastic was rolling over on Ethereum Classic, which I'm going to make an Ethereum Classic video today as well, so you can keep an eye out for that. But this one actually doesn't look too bad on the weekly. We had perfect support on this bump and run on the weekly. Coming back up, we tested this resistance perfectly, and now we've got a nice solid candle with... honestly, I mean, how many days left? 2 days, 18 hours, some mediocre volume. If you can see the volume, let me zoom in a little bit. The volume down here for this kind of a candle is pretty mediocre. I would have preferred to seen a volume candle kind of like this. I'm hoping that next week we'll get a volume candle like this, or at least like this guy right here, to give, because here's a start of a run right here, and you see all the volume coming in. And I'm using this thing called a braid filter. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, the braid filter. Kind of gives you an idea of how strong the move is. So when it's in the gray down here, that means that it's not very strong. And as you can see, it's going sideways. The green right here tells you that the move is pretty strong. And what I like to see in these strong moves is a smaller candle, a bigger candle, preferably even a bigger candle. So let's actually go back a little bit further. Excuse me, I'm still kind of sick here. So we had a smaller candle, a little bit bigger, and then an even bigger one, and that was the end of the move, because the next one was a smaller candle. I'm going to call these candles, but whatever they are, histogram or whatever those are. So anyway, we had these smaller histogram. Let's change it to histogram. And then it started to get bigger, like it was trying to move up again, and it did. It came all the way back up to the 28 cent level, so it hit that twice. But then again, as it came up again, it started dropping, and that's kind of when you know that once you get down and you're falling. What I've noticed with this braid filter is when this starts falling in the green, that means a drop is about to happen. So we were going sideways, and then we had the massive drop. And obviously right here, this candle was kind of or histogram was kind of a dead giveaway. We had one red and then another green, and we were kind of just staying in this area. That was kind of, and then also the stochastic was crossing over at that time as well. So that was a dead giveaway that we were dropping here. But what we're seeing over here in current time is we do have one solid green candle coming up, but look how small it is on the braid filter. That's for a massive breakout to happen. That's pretty bad. We've got the 100 EMA, which is the top of this red cloud here, which is what we're coming up against, along with this previous resistance that we hit right over here. The good news is well, we got 2 days left, but well, almost 3 days, 2 days, 18 hours. We don't have a massive wick yet. We've got a nice solid candle going up into here, which is good news. I do think that we have a good chance of breaking through this time. We tested it once, it said no, and it rejected us. We're coming back up. We're going to test it again with a stronger candle, hopefully. If this candle closes as a solid body candle, even below the resistance here, even if it's in the 4-cent range, I still think that the next candle will break above, because we'll have a nice solid candle. We'll have somewhat okay volume coming in. That still kind of scares me there, but we'll see. Also, the merge is happening in a couple of days, a few days, and who knows what's going to happen after that. Are we going to have our massive breakout that we've been kind of hopefully predicting here? We'll see. Right now, we're up 23% on the day, which is fantastic. Right now, it's 11 o'clock. Oh, disconnected. Right now, it's 11 o'clock where I live, 11 p.m., and so it's only 6 hours into this daily candle, and we're up 23%. It's pretty awesome. I've been jabbering away on the weekly. Let's go down to the daily now. And when my candles turn green, it's because we're above the 100 EMA, so we're above the 100. So we had that big move just a few days ago. So when I said I went long right around here in my video a few days ago, because we had broken out, we had retested perfectly, and I also had a long right here as well. But what you can see here is the white line is the 200 EMA. And this is as long as we don't get rejected here, and we still have 17 hours, 45 minutes roughly to get a wick. And that could happen, and that's fine. We got great stochastic is in the bullish, making a bullish move here. We had the buy signal for the bullish divergence. Problem with the braid filters. I got to move this around. And here's the really good news on the daily. As you can see again on the braid filter, we started with a smaller green histogram candle, whatever. Moved to a larger one, and then we got rejected at the 200. But the good news is this is what made me bullish, and I actually went long again with another long right here at the 382, because I actually did that this morning right before we had this big candle, because look at the volume coming in. All this volume is very weak. We had some good volume come in. It went down. So did the braid filter went down. Then we've got this massive candle coming, histogram, whatever, coming in here on the braid filter. And that's looking really good. I mean, I would not be surprised if we hit the 5-cent mark by the end of the day. I also wouldn't be surprised if it wicked down to the 200, but whatever. So we'll see. So we're above the 100, we're above the 50, and now we are above the 200 on the daily, which is fantastic. We're going to move down a little bit further. Let's go down to the 4-hour, because this is when I started to see things happening. So on the 4-hour, as you can see, let's move our Fibonacci here to the previous low, because we had a move, then we had a fall, then we went up again, and we had this massive fall right here. We held support on the 50, but more importantly is we came back and we held strong support on the 618 with these wicks right here. And now, as you can see, our 4-hour volume is just massive. And so that's a good sign. We've also got the braid filter, massive. We got a crossover on the stochastic, which is a good sign. So when we came back down and I saw these wicks coming up, I said, okay, that's it. We need to put in another long here because this looks like it's about to move. And I think Ravencoin, at least with all the coins that I follow, has got the highest percentage move on the day so far. So that's good and all. Let's kind of see where we might be going here. I still think we're going to the 5-cent level, which would put us right around the 2 on the, if you do a Fibonacci, it would put us at the 2 Fibonacci level. We're getting kind of resistance here at the 1272, which I always say. I always find that there's some kind of resistance here at the 1272. So we're seeing something there. I'm hoping that in the next hour and 40 minutes we close above the 1272 so we can come back down, retest it as support, and then move on further to get to this 5-cent level. That'd be good. Let's also, so then let's go down to the 1 hour. This is the lowest I want to go. Yeah, see, we hit the 1272, got rejected with a wick, and now we're trying really hard because it came back down, and it's so strong right now, it didn't even come back down to retest the previous high, which is over here. So it came back down, and it never even reached the retest. So then it kept moving up, and now you can see, actually, our candle is right above the 1272 on this hourly. So we made it above there. And also, as you can see, our braid filter is continuing to move up, which is a good sign. So don't worry about the stochastic rolling right here. The stochastic can just roll around up here for a long time on the 1 hour. It's not as important. I'm more concerned with the braid filter to follow that. Once I start seeing the braid filter get lower histogram readings, then I might be, well, for the shorter term, I might be a little concerned that we're going to get a pullback once I start seeing shorter histogram readings on the braid filter. For the longer term, it's not that big of a deal because this looks like a move that could last a couple of days, at least up until the weekend. The other thing that I've noticed here is we did this nice double bottom pattern here. So we had first bottom come in. Oop. And our first bottom come in right here. Had our second bottom come in right here. The second bottom was higher than the first bottom, I believe. If it was by a hair. Maybe not, actually. Well, it's equal, perfectly equal. So anyway, we had that second bottom, but the wick was a lot higher. As you can see, these were solid. And then we had a higher wick right here. And so we broke back above the 100 and the 50, which turned my cloud green here. I keep changing my indicators because I'm testing new ones regularly, trying to find decent trading strategies and whatnot. So, and it's good. You guys get to see all sorts of different filters. So far, I think that this is one of my favorite setups, is to have this cloud here with the 50, the 100, and the 200. The stochastic and this braid filter I've found very helpful in a lot of situations. I want to look at our previous run here. So you can see that we had this run back in July. The end of July, we had this big run up, which was our first hit at the 5-cent mark. But as you can see on the braid filter, it took to the final run I mean, almost the final run, right about here, to finally have the braid filter reach the peak that we're at currently. And we just started our run, basically, unless you count this as our start, which, I mean, I guess you could. But where did I see something? Let's go back to the daily. I saw something here that was kind of concerned. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's the volume again. So here's our massive move back in January of 2021 when we had our 1,500% move up in like 30 days. That's great and all. But look at the volume over here. These volume spikes are massive. And then if you look at the braid filter, I got to shrink it. Because look at the braid, I mean, look at this. Look at how small it is over here on the braid filter. These are massive spikes on the braid filter, massive spikes on the volume, and that's what got us to 28 cents. So what concerns me with this move, so if this is going to end up being a fake out, it's going to be because of this right here. I got to make the braid filter larger again because of how weak this is. So it looks like a big histogram read here on the braid filter, but compared to when we hit 28 cents, this is nothing. This is tiny. I mean, even right now, we're smaller than what we were at when we were hitting the 5-cent before, right? So, and also our volume was higher back then as well. Now, again, that's the bad news, but the good news is maybe this volume candle is just the start. And this braid filter is just the start. And we're going to start seeing these things, the volume growing and growing as our candles keep getting larger. We have, I don't know, 8 days, 7 days until the merge. Maybe right after the merge we see a big move. We'll see. But anyway, that's my update for Ravencoin. I saw that some other people were talking about EOS, I believe. I'm also going to do a video on Ethereum Classic, and I'm really big into eGold, Elrond, so I'm probably going to do some more videos on that. But if you would like me to do some videos on some coins you're looking at, some coins that have a good community, I don't like to do Bitcoin and Ethereum that much because, you know, there's so many videos out there with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'd like to, you know, kind of represent people that are in communities with smaller but more vibrant communities, I'm going to say. So I've noticed the Ravencoin community is pretty solid. You guys are leaving some great comments and likes and shares, and I appreciate, I'm not on Twitter, but I know somebody's sharing my stuff on Twitter, so if you're watching my video all the way to the end, thanks for sharing that stuff. I really appreciate it. Gosh, dang it, I can't remember your name right now. Leon, I believe? Anyway, thanks again. Like, share, do all that stuff. Not a financial advisor, just a dude. Talk to you later.